हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव ईशा महेशा हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव ईशा महेशा तांडव प्रियकर चंद्रकलाधर ईशा महेशा तांडव प्रियकर चंद्रकलाधर ईशा महेशा अम्बासुदलम्बोदर वन्दित ईशा महेशा अम्बासुदलम्बोदर वन्दित ईशा महेशा तुंग हिमाचल शृंग निवासन ईशा महेशा तुंग हिमाचल शृंग निवासन ईशा महेशा हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव ईशा महेशा ईशा महेशा परमेशा महेशा ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमतास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमतास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोडकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् 11 times Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. 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 We'll chant the first verse together. Kalabhyam chudalankridashashikalabyam nijatapaha Phalabhyam bhakteshu prakatipapalabhyam bhavatu me Shivabhyam astoka tribhuvana shivabhyam hridi punaha Bhavabhyam ananda spuradhanubhavabhyam natiriyam Yam natihi Yam namaskaraha. This salutation is for whom? Shivabhyam, both Parvati and Parameshwara together. Because Bhagavan is Ardhanarishwara, really speaking. In the Sankhyan philosophy, Prakriti tata Purushaha, both are Anadi. Anadi means beginningless. That is to say, the world that we see and the one who sees, both are eternal. Most of the dualistic philosophies are built on that. And when we say Prakriti and Purusha are both equally beginningless, then there is no release of Prakriti from Purusha. Then moksha na sambhavati. There's no possibility of moksha. Because Prakriti is always there, matter. From the Sankhyan standpoint, the moksha is, or liberation so to say, is the abode of the, they don't believe in Ishwaraha, the Lord, anyway. Sankhyan philosophy does not believe in God. Sankhyan philosophy believes in individual consciousness, which is coming to have constant experience of the matter. So the release in the sense is when the individual, the Purusha, no more gives importance to that Prakriti. वो छोड़ता नहीं है. It's not gone, but it is not given importance. Therefore, there is no need for bringing God here. The Sankhyan philosophy is very well taken into Vedanta to explain the nature of Prakriti. Bhagavan Krishna also uses it. In fact, in Upanishad you will not find the influence of Sankhyan philosophy. Only in Gita you will find it. For explaining the nature of the Prakriti, the matter, which consists of 3 gunas, and how each guna influences our behavior, and how increase of sattva will lead us to the purity of mind. This is how Bhagavan Krishna uses the Sankhyan theory. That's why 2nd chapter is known as Sankhya Yoga. Whereas in Gita, even though Prakriti and Purusha are explained, in one place Bhagavan Krishna says, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidhi Anadi Ubhau Abhi. He repeats the statement from Sankhyan philosophy, Ubhau, both api also, Prakriti Tada Purushaha. The matter as well as the consciousness, both are anadi. Both are beginningless. He accepts that point. But at the same time, he says, Prakriti is none other than Purusha himself in a different form. It's not other than him. It is like I have 2 hands. One is Prakriti and the Purusha. Am I 2 people then? I am the same one who is appearing as Purusha and Prakriti. Therefore, Prakriti merges in the Purusha. When the realization of the truth takes place, Prakriti hi bhadita bhavati. It disappears. That is why Bhagavan Krishna says, Mama Maya dur atyaya. My Maya is very difficult to overcome. Mam eva ye prapatyante mayam etam tarantite. Those who surrender to me, they cross over the Maya. Which means what? The Maya is a chaya of the Lord. Like your shadow, is it different from you? You need to have to wait and invite your shadow. I'm going, are you coming or not? Huh? Do you have to invite your shadow to come with you? Does it disturb you? Does it disturb? So, to Mayam tu Prakritim Vidhi, Mayinam tu Maheshwaram. In Shvetashvara Upanishad, it is said, Maya is the Prakriti, but one who has Maya is called Maheshwar. So symbolically, this Purusha and Prakriti as Shiva and Parvati, none other than he and his power. Ardhanarishwaraha. This is how it is depicted. And here also, Shiva Bhyam. When it is said, we include both. He, Ishwaraha, Tada, Maya. The power of creation. And in fact, it both together only makes the whole thing beautiful. The whole creation is beautiful because of the presence of both. The thinker and the thought, the singer and the song, the painter and the paint. Is it not? The painter doesn't express his painting, then he is not even known to be there. A singer doesn't sing, then what's the point? Singer is singer only when there is a beautiful singing of the song takes place. In the same way, Bhagavan expresses through the Prakriti, but it is not different from him. So Shiva Bhyam, both of them. Kala Bhyam Chuda Alankrita Shashikala Bhyam Nijatapaha Bhala Bhyam Bhakteshu Prakatita Phala Bhyam Bhavatu Me. This way, I salute Shiva and Shiva, who are, as explained yesterday, one who has these characteristics. We don't need to go to that again. And it is said in this very verse itself that Bhagavan and both Shiva and Parvati, they pervade all the three worlds. All the three worlds are pervaded by that. There is a famous verse you will find when you chant Rudram, you see that as the Nyasa portion. Apadala nabastalanda bhuvana brahmandama vispurat jyotis patikalingamoli vilasat purnentuvantamrutai asto kaplutam ekamisha manisham rudranuvakanjapan dhyaye dipsida siddhaye dhruvapadam vipropishinje shivam. Apadala, apadala, up to the end padala. Apadala, nabastala, anta. So the entire pervading presence. You know the story where Bhagavan Shiva appeared as a pillar of fire and how Brahma tried to, not cheat, but want to prove himself to be better than Vishnu. And then it so happened that Vishnu conceded that I am not able to find the feet of the Lord. Or feet of, they did not know it is Lord, but I don't know the end of this. No idea. He went as a kurma, went down and down and down. Nothing happened. But Brahma said, I have got this flower. She will tell you, and she is not here today. So where is she? She is there? Ketaki. Okay. So Ketaki flower, it's called false witness. So false witness, she said, okay, I will tell you. Tell Vishnu that you picked me up on the top. Vishnu, poor thing, he said, oh, okay, fine, all right, what can you do? Then the pillar of fire turned out to be Bhagavan Shiva. How dare you think that you know my beginning? The day he appeared as a pillar of fire is called Shivaratri. Many legends say that. That's what, to appease him, because he became so ferocious at that point, because Brahma had, cheated. So that's why we keep pouring all the cold items to him. Yogurt, milk, ghee, chandan, haldi, coconut water, right? Lemon water, vibhuti, and panchamritam. Cool him down, cool him down. So at that time, Brahma had got 5 heads actually. Actually, he had 5 heads. 4 of them in 4 directions, and 1 head looking above. North, east, west, south. That's why it's called news, you know that? News. News is nothing but what comes from northeast towards south. But he has you also. Up. He knows the heavenly news also. He cut off that because you said that you went on the top and you saw me. Cut off the head. So he landed with forehead only. So this flower also is cursed, that you cannot be used for my puja. Anyway, so apatalamada, up to the end, nabastalanta bhuvana brahmandam avispurat jyotis patika linga mauli vilasat purnenduvantamrudai. This is what we chant as invocation of Bhagavan Shiva. So this, the Lord I salute. Now what is bhakti? What is the nature of bhakti? It is in verse number, I jump from 1 to 61 now. Because I picked up the verses based upon the topic. Angolam nijabida santati ayaskanto phalam suchika sadvinaija vibhum latakshitiruham Sindhusaridvallabham prapnoti hayata tata pashupate padaravindadvayam cheto vrittirupetya tishtati sada Sa bhaktirityuchyate Angolam nijabeda sangatirayaskanto phalam suchika Sadvinaija vibhum latakshitiruham Sindhusaridvallabham Prapnoti hayata tata pashupate Padaravindadvayam Cheto vrittirupetya tishtati sada Sa bhaktirityuchyate. Sa bhaktihi iti uchyate. That is called devotion. See, when you say, I am devoted, what does it mean? No, when during the election, somebody asked, when you vote, then they say, I voted, right? There is a sticker or something. Somebody came to me, what about you, Swamiji? I said, I am devoted. So what is devotion means? Devotion is a divine emotion. We have emotion of different kinds. Love is an emotion, anger is an emotion, jealousy is an emotion, greed is an emotion, E-motion. Now you have e-business, e-trade. Emotion is a movement of the heart. It can be negative, it can be positive also. When it is positive, you feel good. When it is negative, you feel very disturbed, restless. When you are angry, are you comfortable with that anger? I am very angry, I am so comfortable with that. No. When you are angry, actually you shout. Even the person is next to you, you shout. Why? Because you are mentally moved away from that person. Even though the person is next to you, why do you shout at that person when you are angry? You know why? One reason is you mentally had moved away from that person. Second is you lost the hearing power. When a person is angry, he or she doesn't want to listen to anybody else. And therefore, he or she doesn't listen to herself also. So when you shout, obviously you have to increase the volume, because I want to hear myself, but I am stopped hearing. So that is the reason why. And also you feel yourself restless. You want to throw the anger out. You cannot keep it with you. That's why the person of anger is not at ease with oneself, and that person wants to throw away the anger to the other person. And nobody is taking. That's another problem. If somebody is angrily shouting, do you think, very good, come on, go ahead. No, we don't. We run away from that person. So he doesn't know where to throw. So that's restlessness. Whereas you are in love, even if the person whom you have great love for something, even if the person is far away, you won't shout. You might have seen that young lovers. They talk so softly. Why? You are mentally close to me. So it is emotion. Emotion is what? A heart feeling for something, negatively or positively. So love, devotion also is that kind of a feeling developed in the heart and building a relationship with God. Devotion cannot happen overnight. It is a cultivation of a relationship, especially with Bhagavan, who is not perceivable. Is it not? The person, the altar is there, a form of God is there, but as I said yesterday, you are not worshipping the God's form. Actually, Bhagavan only you are worshipping. And then you have to bring him as close to you as possible in your heart. This is why the concept of upasana is there in our Shastra. Upasanam means sitting near. Upavasaha, upasanam. Upavasa means staying near. But what we do, upvas? Upvas is just considered as not eating. That is not the idea. You don't go through the regular routine of life. Instead, you are sitting only with the Lord. Nothing else. All other activities are not there today. Why? I am doing upavasam. Upavasam, samipe, bhagavat samipe vasam. Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives a beautiful definition on this upavasam or upasanam in chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita. Upasanam nama yata shastram upasasya arthasya vishayikaranena samipam upagamya tailadaravat samana pratyaya prabhahena dirgha kalam yad asanam upasanam. This is a definition. First one is yata shastram. Upasya vastu, the object of meditation or object of your worship, something should be that which is recommended by the Shastra. It is not anything and everything you take. No. Because Shastra is a pramana for something which is unknown. Shastram pramanam. Why? Because what is unknown, how do you know? Without a means. See, if I want to see a distant star which is there, I need to have the pramana called a telescope. Without that, can you see it? You can see, but you don't see what you want to see. So, jnatavya vastunaha, for the thing that is to be seen, there is a means to see that. In the same way, ajñātam yat, that which is unknown, jnanartham, for the sake of knowing that, what is used is called pramana. Bhagavan Krishna says, tasmāt shastram pramanam te. Karya, akarya, about karyam, what is to be done and what is not to be done. Similarly, jnātavyam yat ajñātam shastrameva pramana. What is not known but to be known. Bhagavan we have not seen, but how do I see him? What is the pramana for that? Shastra. So, shastram, yata shastram, upasya arthasya, what is to be worshipped. Vishayikaranena, to objectify that object. To objectify Bhagavan, we cannot be objectified. If you objectify, you will object it. It cannot be Vishaya. It cannot be an object. But the attempt of the Upasaka is to have him come to your own heart, to bring him closer to you. So, Vishayikaranena. How do you do that? Samipam upagamya. Going closer to him. If the form of the Lord is there, you go closer to him. That's why I say upavasam. A picture, an idol. During those, Vedic times, they didn't have the picture of the idol of the Lord. So, the mantra only. The bija mantra of Shiva, Sham. Bija mantra of Brahman, Om. Bija mantra of Ganesha, Gam. Gam Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Shankaraha idi Shankaraha. Om ityetadalambanam sreshtam. These are all the Upanishad ways of how to bring the thought of God into you through mantra. But in later to Puranic ages, we have started to have form of the Lord described. According to the described form, there are idols made, etc. So, Bhagavan Shiva, if it is the form is there, then obviously both physically and mentally you should be in the proximity of that Lord. Samipam upagamya, having gone closer to him and sitting down, then what do you do? Tailadharavat, like the oil that is poured one vessel to another, becomes a straight line. Is it not? Especially ghee. When you pour from one vessel to another, it looks like a stick because of the thickness of the viscosity. Tailadharavat, like that of the oil that is being poured, that is the very reason why when we do the Taila Abhishekam of the Lord, when you pour, you can't even see that it is pouring. It's like a straight line. In the same way, samana pratyaya pravahena. Your thought should be of the same kind. That's why we take 108 names of the Lord or 1000 names of the Lord. It's all referring to the same Lord. Or 108 names of Shiva when you chant regularly. Om Shivaya Namaha, Om Maheshwaraya Namaha, Om Shambhabe Namaha, Om Pinakini Namaha, Om Shashishekharaya Namaha, Om Vamadevaya Namaha, Om Virupakshaya Namaha, Om Kabartine Namaha, Om Nilalohitaya Namaha, Om Shankaraya Namaha, Om Shurapane Namaha. So the mind should be onto the Lord only, transfixed. Many of the temples, when you go in India, they say, Om Shivaya Namaha, Om Ishwarananda Namaha. He's interested in who came, who went. Looking at the plate also, how much he put. The intention of Upasaka is making sure that mind is like the oil poured from one vessel to another, continuously, without a disturbance. As Ramana Maharshi would say in Upadesh Sarana, Ajyadaraya Shrotasa Samam Sarala Chintanam Viraladaparam. Than intermittent thinking, not intermittent fasting, intermittent thinking is straight without a disturbance. Tailadaravat samana pratyaya pravaha. Pravaha means flow. Samana pratyaya, same thought. If 108 names you may not remember, okay, just say Om Namah Shivaya. The mind should not have any other thought other than that. Samana pratyaya pravahena yad asanam, staying like that, tad upasana. So bhakti is building a relationship with the Lord. And that does not happen. Any relationship, can it happen overnight? Only in Las Vegas it can happen. But other places, overnight marriage, overnight devotion. That is, divorce. Not devotion. So, continuous building up of relationship with the Lord. So that is true devotion. Devotion is where there is less and less of division. It begins with division, no doubt. Because the very word bhakti comes from the root word in Sanskrit, bhaj, to divide. Bhag karna. But it is said by great masters, bhakti jo hai, usme vibhakti nahi hai. Vibhakti in Sanskrit is declension. Bhakti is where there is no division, there is no declension, there is only one. Divine emotion. So, where there is less and less of division, the greater is the bhakti. Beda bhavana sohamityaso bhavana bida pavani mata bhava shunya sad bhava sustitihi bhavana bhalat bhakti uttama. Bhakti hi uttama bhavana balat. Bhakti becomes greater and greater by the strength of bhavana, feeling for the Lord. And as the Beda becomes different, Beda becomes less and less. Beda bhavanat, then the Beda bhavana, saha aham iti. He is me. I am he. It is like when you are standing in front of the mirror, are there two people? When you stand in front of the mirror, 25 times a day, you don't see that as different from you. It is you yourself. In the same way, one who has gained this steadfastness in upasana, thereafter does not see himself different from the Bhagavan there. It is my own mirror reflection. My divine nature is this. My Shiva, Nija Swarupa is this, which I am not able to stay in all the time. I am getting dragged by other things of the world, but again and again, yato yato nischarati manas chanchalam astiram. Whenever the mind goes away, bring it back to the point. That's why Bhagavan Krishna says, Mayyeva mana adatsva, Mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivasishyasi mayyeva adavurdvam. So upasanam is a very important means to develop devotion. Now in this verse, not go too far away from here, there are a few examples are given. There used to be a tree which is known as Angola tree. In the tree, it sheds the seeds from its own ripened fruit. It sheds the seeds, and the seeds that fall down on the ground go back to the tree. They don't stay away. Interesting. Angolam nijabeda santatihi. That Angola tree, when it gives that bijam, nija bijam means swabijam. Angolam nijabeda santatihi. Santati going towards itself. It does not want to stay away from it. In the same way, a devotee is one who has devotion, cannot stay away from the Lord for too long. See, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, when you are working in the world, have one hand with the Lord, other hand work with the world. When the work is over, both the hand to Him only. Always keep one hand access to the Lord. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. Krishna says, all the time, remember me and fight. This does not mean go home and start fighting. What it means? Swamiji said, Gita had said already, mamanusmara yudhyacha. Go and fight with your husband or wife. No, it's not like. Karma kuru. Whatever you are doing, do it with thought of the Lord all the time. Like that of Angola Nijabija. The seed from the tree does not stay away from the tree. Okay, this is one example. Ayaskanta phalam suchika. Suchi, needle. How the needle stays so attached to the ayaskanta phalam magnet, made of iron magnet. So it is so stuck, right? When you take it, so hard. Try to take that files, the iron files from the magnet, it's so hard to pick it. And you leave it, again go back. Is it not true? Now, when you was young, I'm sure you might have done also. Put a paper on the top, you put the iron filing, and below. And that fellow will move according. So when you don't see the magnet below, it looks like they are all independently moving. Huh? And you take out little, it will start standing. And you go closer, track, it will fall off. So it is to say that one should remember that all that I am able to do is because of the constant presence of Bhagavan, hidden presence of Bhagavan. And all activities that are going on, only because of He is able to do it. He is there behind. Once you remove the paper, what happens? Tack, it will go back to the same thing. In the same way, a bhakta is constantly aware that anything I am doing is because of He being there behind me. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Do it. And that's why Arjuna also, when he had this doubt in his mind, whether we will win or they will win and all that, Bhagavan Krishna showed himself as a Vishwarupa. Don't worry. It is all already done. What? Duryodhanadi Prabhudeha Sarvam. All these Duryodhana, including Bhishma, Drona, all of them are already killed by me. All that you have to do is just show that you are fighting the war. Anyway, the decision is already done. Nimitta matram bhava savyasajan. You just become an instrument in my hand, I will get it done. So then Arjuna, if he knew that Bhagavan has already killed, then why should I do? So that is why Bhagavan made him forget also. You see it, right? Forget it. Then, otherwise, if you know it, you will not do it, right? Like that of the iron filing is ever in touch with the magnet, iron magnet, attached to it, even if it is independently engaged in anything, there is a constant awareness that I am able to do it. It is because of his presence there. Ayaskanta phalam suchika sadvi naija vibhum. This may not be applicable to today's world, but anyway. Like a chaste woman constantly waiting for the husband. I have no comments on that. Sadhvi, sadhu, stri. A pious woman who is waiting for her husband. Naija vibhum. Naija vibhum means Swavibhum. Vibhum means one's own husband. How she is so eagerly waiting. Nowadays the man comes home, only thing that eagerly waits is the dog. That fellow scratches on the door. Come on, I can hear the sound of the car. And you can smell it even before you come to the street. So why do we go that way? No? Even as the husbands also don't have that much of love for the wife. Only first few weeks after marriage, Somebody asked this question, when do you open the car of your door for your wife? Only on 2 occasions. Either the wife is new or the car is new. Afterwards, sit down. I'm just standing there all the time. So, but what here Shankaracharya says, just like a woman who is so pious, how eagerly she waits for her husband, so too a upasaka, a devotee of the Lord, is so fond of being in the presence of the Lord and waiting for that time when he can be there with the Lord, doing the upasana or the puja or chanting the name of the Lord or doing bhajans. It is no more a burden, it is not a duty, it is not something to be done with an unwilling heart. The upasaka is looking forward every day to be there. It is said Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was so fond of Devi or that Shakti there, Durga, and you cannot take him out of that altar. It's not possible. He won't come out. Even though the form of Bhagavati was so frightening, but for him it is the most beloved form of the mother. And he would shed tears and love, and then, full of love, and then he would stay there for hours together. Oh, how is that possible? Because for him it is this, like that of the pious woman waiting for her beloved husband, so too for a devotee, that is devotion, where one does not feel the being with the Lord as a part of their daily activity. Everything else is an activity, except that. Just like we, how we very lovingly carry our iPhone. It's no more phone. It is I, the ego, identified with that phone as me, myself. It is I alone is the phone. So you take that even those places where you don't allow anybody else to go with you, like a restroom. Would you take anybody else with you? But iPhone, yes, it is me, myself. There's no difference between me and even iPad. Everything is I is there. I am alone is the pad. I alone is the phone. So similarly, Bhagavan, I don't feel uncomfortable at all with his presence. Everything else seems to be, okay, let me finish quickly so that I can be with the Bhagavan. So, Sadvinaija Vibhum and Lata Kshitiruham. As Lata, a creeper, how it is so well connected to the tree. Kshitiruha means, Kshiti means Bhumi. Kshitiruha means that which grows in the Bhumi, that is Vruksham. How Lata, the creeper, is so completely intertwined with taking the full support of the tree for its existence and brings beauty to the... Many times it looks like a, what do you call that? Parasite. But really looking at it, the Lata, the creeper, is one which is giving beauty to the entire tree, and it survives with the presence of the tree. Like that, a devotee is so attached to the Lord, sustaining because of his presence, and such devotees are beauty to the world. We don't see that easily. True devotion is not seen. We always see devotion as karma, as form of a karma, doing the puja and then rituals, etc. But if that devotion is not there, it's only a karma. No doubt the puja and the rituals are, they can increase the karma, increase your devotion also, or express the devotion also. But when you take out only as a karma, an action, then the beauty is not there. Actually, this is the beginning portion of the Upadeshasara, as you all know. The story is that when Bhagavan, the ritualists were doing all the karmas, and they forgot in the process the karma phala data. Bhagavan is forgotten, only karma becomes important. Because they, in their mind, said, karma, those people who are engaged in karma, karmins they are called, they thought that karma itself is bringing the result, not Bhagavan. It is like when I throw a stone up above, the stone comes back. There is nobody involved. It is the law of gravitation. So can you say Ishvara is bringing it down? You don't say that. Bhagavan is bringing it down. No, it is the law. Similarly, if I do a ritual, the ritual has got its own law of giving results. And therefore, if I do it rightly, it will give a result. Where is Bhagavan here? There is a need for anybody else. God. So they slowly gave more importance to karma than the Ishvara who gives the karma padam. So when they were doing that way, so Bhagavan said, I have to teach a lesson to these people. So he came down as a young hunter. Bhagavan Shiva is known as the Kirataka. He came as a hunter, stood in front of them. They never even bothered about him. They heard Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. Swaha. Okay, let them do this. Then he went to their abode, their kutir. And the women, they were all cooking, and they were thinking about the Lord and cooking the food. And they looked, Bhagavan, he has come directly to us. We will feed him. So they started feeding him, knowing him to be Bhagavan. And then he said, let us go into the forest. And they all started to go away. And these people saw, what are our wives are doing? They started running behind him. Oh, where are you taking them? Who are you? And while the women, they have chanting the name of the Lord, they are going behind him, these fellows are started to chase and started to attack him. not knowing him to be Bhagavan. So they sent all the arrows, none of them touched him. They sent a mad elephant, he tore the mad elephant's skin and put it on the tiger, that also he tore and put it. Then suddenly they realized he cannot be an ordinary person. They fell at his feet. Then he said, see, don't give importance to karma. Karma is only a means and not an end. You must know that one who gives the result is Bhagavan. Karturajnaya prapyate palam karma kimparam karmata jadam. This is the beginning of Upanishad. So, Bhagavan is the karma phaladata. Forgetting him, anything you do, it has no real result out of it. Shushkam bhavati. So here, lata kshitiruham. The individual mind is very well aware anything that I receive in my life is from him. Sun, the moon, the star, the water, the fire, the earth and the trees and plants. Anybody can claim to have created all these things. Is it not that our entire life, more than 90% of our life, whatever we experience are all already given by the Lord only. We must understand that what humans are not doing, Bhagavan is always doing it. You cannot replace him. You had your dinner, who's digesting? Are you doing it? Swamiji, I just had my dinner, don't disturb me. I'm seriously sitting down to digest that. Are you? Are you or not? Are you breathing or not? How many of you are not breathing? Please raise your hand. Are you breathing or breathing is taking place? Are you doing anything about it? Even when you're sleeping, you're breathing? Then Kohye manyat ka pranyat. Upanishad says, who is breathing when you're sleeping? So that way the devotion is, Bhagavan is always there. Even if I don't pay attention, he with his out of absolute compassion, he is doing everything for me without me even recognizing it, acknowledging it, knowing it. Like the lata, the creeper, total sustenance is from the Kshitiruha. And ultimately, one knows, where am I going to go at the end of my life? To him only. Sindhu Saridvallabham. Sindhu, a river, Saridvallabham. Only to the ocean it will reach back. Where else it will go? You know why? Because that's where it started from. Rain comes from where? Rain is nothing but evaporated water from the ocean. Gets condensed, then go to the place where it starts to pour down. As the rain, then rainwater slowly comes out as a stream. The stream and slowly become a small riverlet. Then gathered momentum, more water, then river, then finally reaches where? To the ocean. The same thing continuously. So where am I going? To him alone. That's why when the river goes back to the ocean, there is no river. Because there is no rivers. Those who understand what to do. Rivers, no rivers. One-way street it is. It goes and straight merges. What is merging means? There is no more me. Whether it's a Ganges or Yamuna or Saraswati, everything is going to the same point, and then one massive H2O, there is loss of identity anymore. There is no more identity. Similarly, a devotee loses his individual identity in the Lord. So how many examples are given? Ankolam nijabida santadirayaskanta सूचिका साध्वीनैजबिबं लताक्षितिरुहं सिन्धुसरिद्वल्लभं प्राप्नोतीह यथा तथा पशुपतेः पादारविन्दद्वयम् yata, just in the same way, all these things, tata, in the same way, iha prapnoti pashupatehe padarvindadvayam. May this mind of mine, chetaha, last line, my mind, may it reach the prapnoti, iha, now, here and now. May my mind reach the lotus feet of the Lord. Pada aravinda dvayam iha prapnoti. Yata tata. Who? Pashupatehe padaravinda. The Lord of all beings. Pashu here does not mean only animals. We are all pashus only. Pashyati iti pashuhu. We all see. We all engage in this world. So we are all pashu. So we are all the... Actually, from the standpoint of the Bhagavan, we are all Pashus and he is the Pati. So, Pashupatehe Padaravindatvayam yata tata prapnoti iha. Cheto vrittirupetya tishtati sada. Chetaha vrittiupetya. With the thought of him, upetya, thought cheto vrittiupetya tishtati sada. When the mind continuously able to retain its oneness with that Lord's feet, sa bhakti. That is what is called devotion. Is it not so beautiful? Say yes. Okay, then good. So definition of bhakti is given here. So many examples. In other words, every thought of that happens in our mind must begin with the remembrance of the Lord, merge back to Him only. So that kind of a love for the Lord continuously maintained, that is called true devotion. This is the definition. That's why from 1 I jumped to 61 to come back again later. So, you know, an interesting verse I read somewhere that I would like to share with you. One devotee, he says, Bhagavan Shiva, his body is very cold, really, because he is sitting where? Kailasha. Kailasha, if anybody has gone, you will remember, or if you have not gone, you should, at 22,000 feet above sea level. And when we go to Kailasha Parikrama, we go only up to 19,000 feet. You're not supposed to go and climb Kailash. That's not allowed. Thank God it is in China. Therefore, it was not... They put a restriction that you cannot climb. If it had been India, they would have made a temple out of that place. You can't go anywhere near that. There is one provision is there, you can go and touch and come back. Inner Kora it's called. You can go and come back because that place is extremely dangerous also because it can be cold at any time and when it becomes cold, and it is always cold anyway. So, Bhagavan's form is cold. And why it is cold and why you are able to bear that cold. So beautifully written by, composed by a devotee. Maulo Ganga Shashanka Shashanko Karacharanatale Shitalanga Bhujanga. In your head, what is there? Ganga, which is cold. Maulo Ganga. And on your neck, what is called Shashanka. On your forehead, Shashanka, crescent. That is also cold. Maulo Ganga Shashanka. Shashankau. Kara Charana Tale. Both your Kara and Charana. Both your hand, in the hand as well as at the feet. Shitalanga Bhujanga. Cold snakes. Snakes are always cold. You know that. You have not touched it, therefore you don't know. But touch it, you will know that. It's like very cold. Molo Ganga Shashanko Karacharnatale Shitalanga Bhujanga Vame Bhage. At the left side of your body, who is there? Dayadra Giri Himagiris Duhita. Duhita means daughter. Himagiri Duhita Vama Bhage. On your left side, who is there? The daughter of the snow-clad mountain. Haimavati. Parvati. So she's also cold. Right? So your head has got Ganges, that is cold. Crescent moon, that is cold. Hand and feet, you have got cold snakes. And then on half of your body is the cold Parvati is there. Then Chandanam Sarvakatre, and you are wearing Chandan. That is also cold. Ittam Sheelam Prabhudam. In this way, Prabhudam Sheetam, its whole body is so cold. Tavaka Nagasabha Nada Jnada Chodum Kwashakti. How is that you are able to bear so much of cold everywhere? You know why? He says, Chitte nirveda tapte yadi bhavati nate nityavaso madiye. You are able to bear all this cold thing because you are sitting in my heart, which is filled with so much of heat. Anger, lust, passion, greed, jealousy. So much heat is there in my heart. Therefore, you are comfortable with me. I am comfortable with you. You needed something warm, no? My heart. And I want something cold. That's very good. We both have good company of each other. Chitte nirveda tapte. Nityavaso madiye. Always you are sitting in my heart, which is so hot, and therefore both are fine. It's such an interesting thing. But now the question is, why Shiva Bhakti? So many deities are there. Why Bhagavan Shiva has to be worshipped? And why he qualifies to become my altar of devotion? We come back to 31 now. From 61 we jump to 31. Nalamba Nalamba paramopakara kamidam Tvekam Pashunam Pate Pakshyan Kukshigadan Chara Charaganan Bhakyastitan Rakshitum Sarvam Atyarpala Palayano Shadamadi Jwalakaram Bikaram Nikshiptam Karalam Gale Nagalitam Nodgirnameva Tvaya Nalamba Paramopakaragam Tvekam Pashunam Pade Pashyan kukshigadan chara charaganan bahyasthitan rakshitum sarvam sarvatmartyapalayanau shadamadijwalakaram bikaram nikshiptam karalam galena galitam nodgirnameva tvaya. Paropakaram, para upakaram, दूसरों के लिए उपकार करना or being helpful to each other is your nature. Nit na alamba, is it not sufficient for you worship you alone? Why? Because you are parama upakaram. You are the supreme help. Idam tu ekam pashunam patim. To the one who is the very Lord of all beings. Pashunam patim. Patehe. Why do you say that he is the one who always is helpful to people? During the time when the churning of the ocean took place for the sake of getting the amritam, what came out first? Alahala Visha. And then Devatas and the Asuras, they both have decided to churn the ocean. And when Bhagavan Vishnu said, okay, who is holding to which part of the snake? So at that time, the Asuras are given the first choice, because they always thought that poor, they feel always neglected, which one you want? You want head? Yeah, we won't go to the tail and all, we want only head. Okay, take. Bhagavan Vishnu smiled, you take the head. Who's on the tail? Obviously Devatas. But when the churning started to take place, where the Alahala Visha came from, then the Asuras realized, we made a mistake. The Visha came out of the head only. And it is so powerful venom. So that powerful venom that came out, nobody could bear it. Everybody ran away from there. Even Vishnu said, Mujhe nahi hoga. This is not possible for me to take this. He took all the nice things, Lakshmi he took, and then all the various nice things and everything he took. But anything that came as negative, he didn't want to take. So that is the reason Bhagavan Shiva is always known to take anything that others don't want. So he took this terrible, powerful venom of Vasuki. That's why he says Vasuki Kantaposhanam. He always has that Vasuki on his neck. That very powerful venom which he took, and he took it in his mouth. Now, if he takes it in, it's a problem. To throw it, that is another problem, because it is that when he throws it out, it will burn everything there. But he cannot take it in also. You know why? Kukshigatan chara charaganan. In his own stomach or in his own belly alone, all living beings. Kukshigatan chara acharaganan. But at the same time, he cannot throw it also because bhagyastitan rakshitum. He cannot throw it because those who are outside him. Inside him means those who are devotees. Outside means those who are not devoted also. He is not the one who is partial. Usko bhi mujhe protect karna hai. Unhon ko bhi. Outside people also. So, kukshigatan chara charaganan bhayasthitan rakshtitum. Sarvamartyam phalayana aushadim iti atijwala karam bhikaram. So this very process of gaining the amritam, for which the devatas and the asuras are churning that. So all those things which are coming out of it afterwards are most beautiful. But what came at the first thing while in the process of gaining amritam is the most dangerous. See, why this is important symbolically to us is, when you sit for meditation or any quiet contemplation, what would come on your head is all impurities first. And if you are not able to withstand that, you will never sit down for meditation. Swamiji, when I sit for meditation, all those weird thoughts are coming. From where? In you only. That means it is there in you. And you running away from it. Do you remember Gurudev said, don't fight against your mind. Tame it slowly. Don't fight with it. Why? It's your mind after all. If it is an outsider, you can walk away from that. But if it is you, isn't not Bhagavan said in Gita also? Uddhared atmana atmanam atmanam navasa avasaded atma eva atmanaha bandhuhu atma eva atmanaha ripuhu. Bandhuratma atmanastasya vartedai atma eva shatruvat. If you are not able to befriend your mind, it will become your enemy. Anatmanattu shatrutve varted atmaeva shatruvat. On the other hand, bandhuratma atmanastasya. If you are able to befriend your mind, it will act as a friend. If you are an enemy to your mind, it will act like an enemy. Now you cannot go away from this mind also. Where do you go? Even before you get standing there. Come. And this mind of ours is so dictating. Every moment we listen to him only. Think about it. I am dieting. Rasagulla there. Nobody in this place knows that I am dieting. So the mind is such a peculiar thing. Eat. Who cares? Gurudev used to say that after all the food is there, sweet. So eat. The mind says eat. No, my doctor said that I am diabetic, I cannot eat. What kind of a sannyasi you are afraid of death? See, justification, you see that. We are constantly listening to that inner voice, dictating us in every moment. And I would recommend you all to read a book called Untethered Soul. It's a wonderful book you should read. In that book, the entire discussion is about how we are all controlled by our mind. Every moment of our life, we are dancing to the tune of this inner control by the mind. Don't smile at him. Yesterday he didn't smile at you. We listen to that guy continuously. So here, the mind which is constantly dictating terms to us, we are all victims only. So the Bhagavan is one who had taken this, swallowed that Visha, knowing well that if he swallows it, it will kill everyone. If he throws it out, that is to go and destroy the entire world. So therefore, Bhahyasitan Rakshisam Sarvam Amartyam. All these immortals, meaning all the devatas, Palayana Aushadam. They are looking for an nectar. But you, what it came out was not nectar. What came out was visham. Palayanam aushadam ati jwalakaram. It is extremely powerful, destructive, bhikaram, frightening indeed. Nikshiptam garalam. What came out, what has been spitted out by Vasuki, Nikshiptam is garalam. Garalam is the poison, venom. Galena galitam. You took it to your throat, na galitam. You didn't swallow it. Na udgirnam. You didn't throw it also. Evatvaya. You did not do it. You neither took it inside, which will kill all the beings who are within. You didn't throw it out, which will destroy the entire world outside. So what an amount of compassion you had. So who else will I? Is it not enough? Na alamba paramopakaram idam tu ekam pashunam pate. You are the only person among all gods who did this great feat of saving everybody when everybody is in danger. Everybody ran away. You are the only person who actually stood. Take it smilingly. Our Gurudev used to say, he was about to swallow and Parvati came and caught his neck, Don't do that. I am there, half of your body. You better don't take it. So it stood there giving a beautiful ornamentation for the Lord. Nilakanta Maheshwari ki jai. So that is the beauty of why I am not interested in anybody else but you, O Lord. Nalamba paramopakaramidam tvekam pashunam pate pashyan kukshigadan characharaganan bahyastitan rakshitum sarvamartyapalayanaushadamidajwalakaram bhikaram nikshiptam karanam galena galitam. Na gilitam is written. Galitam nodgirnameva tvaya. You are the one. That's why Tulsidas says, Pashunam patim papanasham paresham Gajendrasya kritim basanam parenyam Jatachuta madhye spuradgangavarim Mahadeva megam smarami smararim. There's a portion where there is a Shiva Stuti is there. That beautifully he composed there about Pashupati. Now, having explained what is devotion, why I am devoted to Shiva, what is the qualification of a devotee? Bhakta's qualification is what? I think we just have time for that. We'll just read that verse number 5. Smritau shastre vedye Shaguna kavita gana panitau Purane mantre va Stuti natanaha syeshva chaturaha Katam rajñam pritihi Bhavati mayikoham pashupate Pashum mam sarvajña Pratita kripaya palaya vibho Smrtau shastre vedye Shakuna kavita gana panitau Purane mantre va Stuti natanaha syeshva chatura Katam ragyam pritir bhavati mayikoham pashupate pashum mam sarvajna pratita kripaya palaya vibho. Please protect me, O Lord, because I am totally unqualified. What are the qualifications which a king can recognize and praise or give sustenance to me? None of them I have. Meaning what? Who is qualified to be a Shiva Bhakta? He who has no other qualification. Meaning all of us, I don't need to have any qualification to be a devotee of Bhagavan. Because anybody else has any other thing will be occupied with that only. Truly speaking, a person who does not have any other qualification is the most fitting devotee of the Lord. Because he doesn't have the arrogance of knowing something. We'll see more of it in the next class. I think it's the time to. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhad Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So last summer, this was released, this book called Orange Juice to Awaken the Soul. I was giving satsangs there in LA during just before COVID time, because BC it's called, before COVID. So in BC, I was giving lectures and general topics which are just very light in their, very subject matter. Like for example, goal of life, power of mantra, you are what you eat, purposeful parenting, even though I don't know anything about parenting, samskaras, the shock absorbers, take a holiday from caution, balance, holding out and letting go, and Guru's grace, forgive, forget and heal, Soham, channel to the infinite, don't be afraid to do nothing. So these 13 topics are there. It's called Orange Juice to Awaken the Soul. Acronym is OJAS. So this is now available for you to buy at the bookstore here. During the week you can buy. And you can also have my signature if you want, for an extra. That's who we sell it. Premium priced. Okay, Hari Om.
As we are getting ready. much.
ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो दधातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
So we had a very wonderful meditation session this morning at 7 a.m. We'll have the same tomorrow as well. So those of you who are able to make it, please do come. 7 to 8 meditation and 8 to 8:30 breakfast. Yummy breakfast. I had it today. So please do come tomorrow morning. And the evening, 6:45 is our bhajans. But before that, we have 6 p.m. We'll have dinner, Bhiksha with Swamiji. 6:45 to 7 is bhajans. And from 7 to 8:30, we'll have discourse. Oh, I would request all of the teachers to stay back.
Also, who want to be teachers?
Yeah, who want to be teacher as well, you can also, please feel free to stay back.